Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members, for the opportunity to testify. I have collected information on Rhode Island constitutional conventions for more than 20 years because I believe that the state constitutional convention plays a vital role of checks and balances in Rhode Island's constitution. I was research director for 17 years with Operation Clean Government, having retired from the group in 2011. I am currently a member of the advisory committee of Rhode Island ConCon.info, authored and administered by J.H. Snyder. He and I have recently co-authored 2 opinion pieces on constitutional conventions in the Providence Journal. I'd like to make some suggestions on proceedings of the commission hearings. Number 1, reasonable public notice is needed. Your first commission hearing was posted on the General Assembly website just 48 hours prior to the meeting on July 31st, the minimum required by the Open Meetings Law. At that time, if you remember, there were maybe 6 to 8 people of public members attending the meeting, basically through lack of notice. Today's meeting was posted on the website just 48 hours prior to this meeting. I did not see any advance notice in the Providence Journal or any other media. Was there a press release about these meetings? The last news release on the General Assembly website was July 10th. It was not surprising, again, that there were only 8 members at the last meeting, and I haven't counted here, but for such an important meeting, you do not have many public members here. Though the Open Meetings Law only requires 48 hours notice, it would encourage more public participation to have the schedule of your next, I thought there'd be 3 meetings, so I'll say 2 meetings, published in the media well ahead of time. If this is not possible, then at least 5 days notice for each meeting. The Commission could provide online sign-ups for those wishing to receive this notice. Also of interest, the 2004 Preparatory Commission had 7 public hearings, and the 1984 Commission had 14 public hearings. Second, on the Voter Information Handbook, which is prepared by the Secretary of State. In 1984 and 2004, the Preparatory Commission reports did not appear in the Voter Information Handbooks. I have attached the 1 page that did appear in each handbook in those years. The Preparatory Commission report in 1984 was 14 pages. In 2004, it was 10 pages. With the added expense to taxpayers to publish these pages and without allowing in the handbook the objectivity of pro and con statements of whether or not there should be a constitutional convention, it is not appropriate for this Commission's report to appear in the handbook, as you stated during your July 31st meeting. In 1994, there was no Commission report since the General Assembly failed to appoint a Commission, and the Governor appointed one on November 7th, 1994, the day before the election. The executive order from the Governor is attached here. The third is that webcasting and access to this Commission's meetings. It's very helpful that these first 2 meetings are available on Capitol TV, and I won't read the rest because I assume, since you're going to have the next 2 meetings here, that they will also be on Capitol TV, available to the public and the media, which is very good, very impressive. Number 4, there's been no mention by this Commission that your report was due July 30th, as was stated in the enabling legislation. The legislation setting up this Commission provided that the Commission provide its report by July 30th of this year. However, the first meeting, with only 48 hours notice on the General Assembly website, took place 1 day after this report was due. The impression left to public citizens was that substantive Commission business had been conducted before the meeting, outside the public view. For example, the uncontested leadership elections, the choice of the number of public meetings and places, and placing the report in the Voter Information Guide. In closing, I feel that the modern democratic function of a state constitutional convention is for the citizens to have a meaningful discussion on issues that a legislative body will not address due to its own self-interest. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Beverly. Any questions?